is Assistant Fire Chief of the LA Fire Department, Guy Tomlinson. Guy, we've been talking about this controlled burn for quite some time now. It started last night, but a lot of moving parts with this. It's my understanding you've been using diesel fuel for this, right?
To initiate the controlled burn, we did use diesel fuel and mixed it in with hay. And then as that slowly burned through the house, as you guys saw dramatically on your videos last night, it did hit the explosives that we were concerned with.
You expected that. The video is really showing that from overhead as Sky 5 flew this area last night. You also took some measures to protect homes nearby, right? They were covered with gel. There were sand berms built around that home here on Remington Street too.
Yes, sir. Around the houses, we used thermogel. We covered all the houses in plastic, used thermogel over the plastic to make sure that the exterior of the houses didn't catch fire. The berms that you saw in front were to control the runoff if we had to put water on the structure with the hazardous materials inside, so that we could control the runoff so the watershed wasn't a problem for us. And then all the other structures were protected through the thermogel along the fencings and everything else.
No other homes at this point, at least, were damaged as well. 63 homes evacuated. It's my understanding as well that not everyone left, though.
63 homes were evacuated. Not everybody did leave. We did have some positive door knocks where people chose to stay, and we did have several door knocks where nobody was at home at the time.
Is it safe to say that most of the danger is away from us now, or is it still a very fluid and dangerous situation here?
Well, the controlled burn was to control those hazards and mitigate additional hazards that may be there. So hopefully later today or maybe even tomorrow they'll be able to start their thorough investigation. But right now the scene is still hot and the house or the structure is still burning down.
Let's get you to some video here from the initial explosion on Thursday morning about 9 a.m. here at Remington Street. Really dramatic surveillance video sending that roof of that home up and several feet into the air, plumes of smoke as well. Quite concerning for folks here. The investigation at this point, we know that 24-year-old man suspected of having explosives in that home, still in critical condition. Have you figured out a cause of this?
The exact cause, no. That's all under investigation. ATF, LAPD Major Crimes, LAPD Bomb Squad are handling that side of the investigation. We're here strictly for the controlled fire portion of it, and then the medical aspect of it for the first responders and the community.
If this suspect now survives, makes it out okay, he's going to be facing several federal charges.
I would assume that there would be charges, whether it be through local or through LAPD or through the ATF. I'm sure there'll be federal or local charges, depending on what they find. Guy
Tomlinson here with the LA Fire Department. Thank you for joining us.
And we've seen that the home is still smoldering. What are the next steps? Because we also saw a mound of dirt out there. You guys have formed a berm, excuse me. What is the next step for this?
So the continued steps are air monitoring, making sure the community is still safe. Since midnight last night, the air sampling has all been back to normal range. The berm that you see is to control any runoff from any hazardous material that may be mixed with the water that's coming out of that structure. We did not apply any water to the structure, so there is no hazardous water in that runoff as of yet. And so stormwater, we're protecting the storm drain system, and then we also are controlling where in that water could go so that we don't have any additional hazardous materials or any issues downrange from the incident.
And do you foresee any more explosions throughout the day? You haven't had any since about 2 o'clock this morning, but...
We're not anticipating any more explosions. Most of the heat is out of the structure, and as I said earlier, very small pockets of fire. So anything that was probably going to explode has exploded, and we're trying not to add any water to it so it's safer for the investigators to go in once they're able to get in, once everything cools off.
All right, thank you so much.